welcome back to Good Morning Tobago on Tobago Updates. Viewers, we are continuing our conversations this morning related to what's been going on with that oil spill and the vessel that's stuck in our waters. And yes, we still have a lot of unanswered questions, but while we are waiting on all of those questions to be answered, we have a group of people that are very much affected. Their livelihoods are affected, and these are the fishermen. And joining us this morning is Mr. Krishna Thomas, and he is a floor member of the Lambo Fisherfolk Association. A special good morning and welcome to you, Mr. Krishna. How are you doing?
I'm pretty all right now. Pleasant good morning to all your visitors from the island and all your viewers.
And certainly, and you know, this was one of the fishermen that our crew went out with a couple Wednesdays ago when we first discovered the vessel.
Yeah, on the first day.
Yes. So I know there was a lot of concern that myself and my cameraman was out there without a life vest, but you know, I was pretty confident because I knew I was in safe hands.
No, we know the whole terrain concerning the whole from Scarborough straight down to the airport. So going out without a life jacket there is nothing, it's a normal thing to us, you understand me?
Yes.
We travel the high seas like that.
And certainly, now, you've been also one of those people that have been working daily with the team to lay out the oil booms and so on, and to make sure we could minimize the chance of more of that oil getting to our shores.
Yes, but what happened with the oil right now, the pockets of oil is lodged in the rocks. That way is washing down to Hilton, and the vessels and the people cannot get to it to do the cleanup. So as the tide right now, we are going from first quarter into full moon. So yeah, we have everything. The sea is like a living person. It have the different tides. So right now, the tide is getting bigger. So every day, as they're clean, more oil is being coming into Lambo Beach. So our natural fishing habitat, well, basically right now we cannot go to fish because they say our boats are contaminated, and we do not want to take our boats from one port and go to the next port because we have to sanitize, clean the boat because all the tar or the oil, matter of fact, is on the boat, in the bait well, and all these stuff.
And it's an interesting word to use. It's like tar.
Yeah.
And we have to say it because it's so thick.
Thick.
It's not regular oil.
No. Well, the authorities, them not coming to tell us what we are dealing with. That's one concern. The next concern is our livelihood is being severely affected. Plenty of these guys that fish with me and other boats, fishing is their only means of income. We are not getting no help concerning it. The only person giving us a little bit of help is ATFA and Mr. Douglas, that is the president. He is taking money out, literally money out of his own pocket to help us, you understand me? We haven't seen the THA, we haven't seen nobody from central government. Right now, Lambo is ground zero for this oil spill. You know, if the boat did overturn and lodge like up in Roxborough, let me use that as for instance, the whole coast from Roxborough comes straight down will be affected. But when the boat overturned out in the sea, the boat just travel faster than the oil. So the boat come and lodge down at Cove, but the oil was behind coming. We did not know that. So when it came in now, what is the problem now? It came in such a rush that how the authorities couldn't do no effort to stop it. Because you was out there the first day.
Yes.
We didn't see that volume of oil, you understand me?
It was not until Thursday and we saw.
Yeah, the next day when you came, it was like, wow, what really going on here? You could say that, oh, well, Tobago strike oil. But it's not we strike oil, you know, we strike a natural disaster instead, you understand me? And Lambo is ground zero. Come like the World Trade Center when it blew up, you understand me? New York is a state, but Manhattan was ground zero for it, you understand me? So that is what's going on in Lambo. The fishermen them depend on that to mind the family, to pay their rent. A guy just a couple days ago couldn't pay rent. Mr. Douglas had to take some money out of his pocket to help the guy pay his rent.
So what is the feeling of the fishermen at this point in time?
Very frustrated. We are frustrated right now because some of us, that's all we know. Going out into the sea, catching our fish, coming in, making our living. We can't make a living. We can't do nothing. Right now, we can't even say we have a boat to go nowhere because our boat is naturally covered in oil.
And have you been having any conversations with the area representative, and that's of course Mr. Wayne Clark?
Mr. Wayne Clark have his plate full right now. He been sorting out with his school and all the other people on the side of the beaches where have been affected, you understand me? He didn't have no conversation with us, to my knowing. The only person we really getting a little feedback and a little assistance from is ATFA.
And then yesterday we heard from the opposition, they made a call that the central government should organize a sort of compassionate grant or something of that nature for the fishermen. Because of course we know that at some point some level of compensation will come in. But of course that's also dependent on being able to find the ownership of the vessel and all of that stuff. But while all of that is happening, that might take some time. And in the meantime, your livelihoods, your immediate bread and butter is being affected.
Yeah, because some of us have loans to pay. Some of us have rent to pay. We have kids going to school. We have grandkids. We are the only breadwinner in the family. What is our position? If we don't go to sea, we cannot feed ourselves. We are honest, hard-working people. We get up at 5 o'clock in the morning. You see how others be. Go out there, make our catch, come back in. Sometimes we don't catch nothing. Next day, we have to find gas to go back out there, ice, again to go. And right now, we can't do nothing. And now it's Easter, where we're supposed to be making a little money, understand me, for the bad days. Nothing is going on. The teacher not telling us nothing. So central government supposed to come in now because we are watching at this oil spill as just right there. But this have very, very bad effects on the environment because all the rocks going up the by the abattoir from Lambo, those stones there cannot be cleaned. So we are having this disaster affect us. Not next month, not the following month, but for a whole year or 2 years.
Now, when you say that the rocks can't be clean and so on, how does that even affect, what's the relationship between the rocks and the fish and all of that thing?
All right, well, the rocks does gather moss. Bait fish does feed off the moss. Bigger fish feed off the bait fish, and we catch the bigger fish. So we just use a bait, catch a bait there, and go out into the ocean on different spots and catch bigger fish. Now the whole coastline there is affected. Now, when we have to go to fish, when we get it all clear to go to fish again now, instead of spending $1,000 in gas for the day or $2,000, we're going to have to spend more because here what? We'll have to leave from Lambo and travel to Plymouth or up Castara to catch bait, then to come back and fish off the shallows of Crown Point. So before you start to make $1, you will be $1,000 out your pocket. So you have to make that $1,000 before you start to fish.
And is fishermen noticing a drop in fish around the area at this point in time, or even going up to Roxborough? Like what's the experience out there like?
Well, right now people on the whole are saying that all the fish is polluted and contaminated. But I differ. because the fish that are being caught right now are not from around the oil spill. Those fishes are being caught deep out in the ocean and at the head of the land, like up Charlottesville, Speyside, on that side. So those fish are good. No oil and gold as yet. But we have to remember that our tide does change. And the THA and as part central government need to do something a little more. Because THA don't have the resources, but central government might have the resources. Because the oil have been traveling further down
South.
right. And then what will be happening now, when the tide changes and the water changes, we just have difference in the current. So we will be coming back up to Tobago. So right now the current is going down. If the current swing now and come back up, right below Cove down there, below by the airport there, when the water is coming up back now, it just take the water now and push it up towards Castara side. Castara, Pigeon Point, Mount Irving, Grafton, you hear the beaches are calling, are our tourist points. So we have to concentrate too on the oil that is out in the ocean. Because if it come back up to us, it will not only affect Lambo, it's going to affect the whole North Coast.
And then as we're getting ready to wrap, we're almost at the time, but could you just, spend a 30 seconds and just say, what as fishermen you would like to see happen at this point in time, especially Lambo fishermen?
Well, right now, what we would like to see is the oil cleanup, because this is not affecting Lambo. It's going to eventually affect the whole of Tobago. We cannot look at Lambo alone. And then if it affects Tobago, it's going to affect Trinidad as well. So we need for the two islands to come together, central government, THA, and find a resolution concerning this whole oil spill.
All right. I want to thank you so much, Mr. Krishna Thomas, for being on with us and giving us your perspective as one of the Lambo fishermen, and especially as one of them that's also very much involved with the cleanup efforts as well. I mean, certainly thank you for lending your hand and for doing what you can. But of course, it's hitting home for you.
Yes. All right.
All right. So thank you. And viewers, please don't go anywhere because we got a whole lot more coming up for you on GMT right after this break.